Hey guys, Aileen here from Homegrown Happiness. In today's video I'm going to do an update on the no-dig garden that I put together last month. If you haven't seen the video where I make these no-dig beds in the first place, check that out before you watch this one. So I haven't done much to it or anything over the last 4 weeks, just kind of left it so I could show what has happened after 4 weeks, like to the mulch, how fast it breaks down and things like that. So in general the garden's done really well. The worst that's been happening to it is that the blackbirds are really digging into it because there's so much mulch, and then in the mulch there are like slugs, so they're loving that, which I don't mind because that way they're getting the slugs and the slugs are not eating the vegetables. But they are messy little birds and they scatter the mulch everywhere. In general, the garden's looking so good though. The veggies are growing really nicely. I have put in a little teepee for the peas. I used pea straw, and so those pea seeds are all germinating, so I've decided to, may as well, see if I can get them to climb up this pea tower, and I've also added in some extra pea seeds too. And so the mulch that I laid on last month was pretty thick when I put it on, and now it's pretty much all gone. It breaks down really quickly, especially pea straw goes back into the soil really quickly, which is a good thing, but it does mean you need to keep on adding more organic matter. If you don't, after a while the weeds will start coming through, or you just get the bare soil and it's just not really keeping that soil and your plant's roots protected. So in this video I'm going to plant out the garlic that I said I'd plant out last month. I did it a little bit earlier than I said I would, so the shortest day of the year will be on the 22nd, and I planted it out on the 19th. So the garlic patch I covered with some cardboard to stop the leaves blowing away and just to stop the blackbirds digging in there and making a real mess. It's freezing here at the moment, which is awesome for the kind of garlic that I'm planting. I'm doing a hardneck variety, a Spanish red. It's the first year I've grown a hardneck variety, and I know that they need quite a bit of cold to form the bulbs properly, so I love that it was frosty this morning. So when you're planting garlic, you obviously want to plant every clove separately, and I try to choose only the big cloves. I don't bother planting any of the little ones because I don't have that much space in the first place, so I would rather just designate the areas that I have for the larger cloves. And then all I'm doing to plant them is making little holes with this bamboo stick. I'm just making holes that are twice as deep as the garlic is long, and then just popping them in there with the pointy bit sticking up. And now I'm going to mulch all the beds, and this time I'm not going to use pea straw. I'm going to make a homemade mulch, and I'm going to use my lawnmower to do it. So I've just got leaves, some newspaper, some nasturtiums that I had, and a couple of other things, just green waste material, and I'm just going to run that over with a lawnmower, and it's just going to chop it up, and it's just going to make the perfect mulch alongside the bit of grass clippings that are in there as well. See, and it chops it up really nicely. So we don't have much lawn left, and I hadn't mowed it that long ago anyway, so there's not that much grass in it, but sometimes it's really good if you have lots of grass in it and you want to keep your plants warm, because grass clippings break down very quickly and they create a little bit of heat, so using a mulch like that can actually create a little bit of heat, which some plants would really love. And then I'm just going to put that mulch around the plants. and you can make as much as you need, and definitely use other things as well. It doesn't just have to be the dried leaves. If you are chopping any plants or like cutting them back, deadheading any flowers, all that stuff can work as a mulch. And the faster it breaks down, obviously the faster you're going to have to replenish it, but the faster it's feeding the soil. So if you're using mulches that take a long time to break down, like bark, yes, it would give you less work, but it's just not feeding the soil as much. And now I'm just going to give the entire garden a diluted drink of wormweed. And the last thing I'm going to do is cover my garlic with some shade cloth that I still have, because again, I just want the blackbirds to stay away from that area. Just give the garlic some time to germinate, and then once it's popped through, then I'll remove the shade cloth, and I might cover it with some chicken wire if the blackbirds are still digging in there, we'll see. So I'm going to keep doing this for the duration of this bed, maintaining it by adding more layers of mulch as needed, because with beds like this, obviously it does break down fast, so you do need to stay on top of things, but it's not hard work. And then another thing, when I am harvesting from this bed, I'm never going to just pull the plants out by the roots unless I need the whole plant. Like the garlic, I am going to pull that one out. But for the cabbages and any of the other plants that are in there, I'm just going to chop them at the base, leaving the root ball in the soil, because that root ball is still a food source for all the microorganisms in there, so I don't want to yank it out. It's also going to destroy all the frameworks and stuff they've built there, so it's much better just to leave it in there, and then that can break down, feed the soil. It's just a nice cycle, really. It all makes so much sense when you think about it. And I'm so happy with how this bed is going. My vegetables are looking really good despite their lack of sun. Then I've got the flower border along the edge, which has flowers that will bloom at different times of the year, so it's always something interesting going on there. I've got some spring bulbs that are starting to pop through already. This is one of my favourite gardens here. So I hope this has inspired you to maybe start your own no-dig vegetable garden patch, and let me know if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer them. And as for further updates on this bed, it's just going to be featured now in all the rest of my monthly garden videos, as it's now part of my vegetable garden, so you'll see what I plant in there from now on and how the rest of the veggies are going.